I'm your host today, Hatim Radwan, and I'm honored to be joined by Dr. Sakshi Vermani Rishi. Dr. Sakshi is Associate Professor at the School of Psychology and Education at the Rishihood University in India. So I would love to give the floor to Dr. Sakshi to give us more about her background. And welcome to EdTalk Coffee.
Namaste, everyone. Good
Namaste.
morning. Uh, thank you so much for giving this platform. Myself, Dr. Sakshi Vermani Rishi, and I'm working as an associate professor in university. And I'm in a teaching profession from the past 18 years, and I love this profession. I did two MA in political science and education. I'm pursuing MA in psychology. I'm a certified life skill trainer from Singapore University and a certified psychotherapist too. But the most and the I lovable point of my professional journey is that I did research in Bhagavad Gita, and this is a text which really helps me a lot in leading a life in a very peaceful way. So I consider Gita as an instructional module for every one of us for understanding what exactly life means to us. Thank you.
So, throughout these 18 years of experience, what was the most exciting section in your working career, in your studying, in your university?
I love the classroom atmosphere most because, when you see the joy of watching your learners transform, when you see, the happiness on their face, the satisfaction of guiding them through their inner journey, that, is the most inspiring position of my profession, and the belief that education is ultimately about what about shaping humans, not just careers. So it has kept me grounded all these 18 years of my profession, wherein I have seen shy learners bloom into confident adults. The stressed one, they discover how to balance in life. So, that process keeps me rooted. And with that, I just want to share one example of my learner, matlab that I, recalled right now also, that one of my learner who was very quiet in the class,
Mhm.
and when he came to me and he just told me that, ma'am, your one line, that believe in yourself and trust your journey, changed how I see myself now. So moments like these anchor me far from for more than degrees, positions, achievements in life. So that is why I love the learning atmosphere in the class the most.
I can't agree more. I've been in the classroom for years. I started as a music teacher for young kids, and I would say almost this was the most inspiring part of my journey because this is where I saw the value of what we do. Very interesting, and one important topic I want to ask you about, which is part of your research and your current and previous work, which is emotional intelligence. And I think you have brought a lot from the research that you've done, the PhD around the Bhagavad Gita. So, how did your research change the way you look to the modern educator? What can you tell us about emotional intelligence and how do you bring it into educators' life?
Okay, that's very interesting one. We all know that emotions are the part and parcel of human life. I feel proud on myself that I'm an educator. Why? Because I am the one who is shaping humans, not machines.
Yeah.
Okay, so wherein emotion plays a very important role. And in my research, I have taken the Mayer and Salovey's model of emotional intelligence
Mhm,
on four A's, that one should aware about the emotions. After
mhm,
awareing, you are able to, make acceptance of that. Ki, yes, you have this emotion in a very high way, and this is at a very low pace. After accepting, your attitude, your perceptions makes on that, and you perform actions like that, which is the fourth A. So and Gita showed me that educators' first duty is what? To lead from inside out.
mhm,
If
mhm,
we recall, if we go back 5,000 years back, wherein, Arjun was in emotional turmoil. It was not academic. It was just emotional turmoil. And, Lord Krishna, he acted as a counselor, guide, philosopher for the Arjun to, come out from that emotion, to vent out emotional dilemma which he has during that time. So he gave him clarity, grounding, and courage. So similarly, in a modern classrooms, for a modern educators, they must manage three things. The first, emotional turbulence in the classroom. Second, uncertainty in students. And the third
Mhm.
one is their own stress, because that is very important. So when I teach with emotional balance, learners automatically feel safe. And that's what exactly Gita's real gift to the classroom. So your inner state becomes your teaching pedagogy.
Wow, wow. I love that. It's full of wisdom. And you have mentioned many things that every educator agree on, but it remains a kind of hidden perspectives in the classroom, because I think there is too much to think about sometimes, to a point that educators stop thinking about their inner state. They
Yeah.
just become like task achievers. They finish the lesson, they go another lesson. There's a lot of tasks. But I think this discussion must be a wake-up call for everyone to start thinking about their inner state. And I hope in this discussion, you can give us some kind of implementation steps. How can we start doing that? Because I think, despite the tools that we have today, the technology, stress is rising among educators.
Uh, Stress is rising nowadays among educators and learners because, we are constantly connected but hardly reflecting. This
Mhm.
is the one liner answer of this question. So we move from class to class, we move from screen to screen, we move from task to task without passing, without understanding. That is the most
Mhm.
important problem. What a teacher is doing right now, just completing his or her task, correcting assignments, immediately prepares PowerPoint presentations, or answering to emails or attending meetings. Even at the leisure time of ours, we are spending time on scrolling. So there's no space for breathing, you know. And similarly, on the other hand, our learners are doing what? They are facing the same pattern. They are running towards assignment, social media, comparison, and more of external pressure how to achieve something in life. So we have more tools nowadays, but a very fewer moments of inner peace. You know, it is very important to spend time with your own self, realize your own self, understand your inner self. Then only you get stress free life. And that too is not very easy, but we need guide, we need counselor, we need philosopher, we need our elders for that, because they are the more experienced person who tell us. But nowadays learners don't want anybody. They said they are the one who are themselves, help themselves to deal with stress. But actually the crux of this question is that uh, why we are in a more stress nowadays, because we are running towards the materialistic world. We are not understanding what is the true meaning of happiness, because happiness is inside us, but we are just like that deer who is searching the fragrance outside the world which is there in him. So this is the main problem.
I think I would love to hear from you, because you are an educator, you work with the students, you work with colleagues, you do researches, your schedule is very busy. I know that we were trying to schedule this call for almost 4 weeks, and I know how life is busy. I think the best way to teach others sometimes is modeling, is sharing experiences. I would love to ask you, out of curiosity, don't you feel stress?
No, no, no. So
How you manage stress. And I think
okay.
this is a lot you can bring from the Indian philosophy, Indian wisdom, that
Okay.
you are inspired with. How do you manage your own stress?
The only three best steps are there. The first is that I breathe with awareness, pranayam. I do
Done.
meditation. I'm following the mindful practices. And yeah, just three conscious breathe can reset the mind before entering in any profession or entering any work at home. This is first thing. Second, detachment from the results. I believe in Gita's philosophy that karmic philosophy is the highest philosophy. Your karma matters a lot. So do nishkam karma. That is very important. Do your best and leave the rest. So it reduce permanent anxiety and stress. Just do everything and leave it on the hands of the supreme power. Ki whatever comes to me, if I'm doing something good from my matlab, with good intentions, automatically god will help me in that. So I believe in that. And the third most important thing is that witness mindset, that is sakshi bhav. It is very important. Observe emotions instead of drawing in them. So it is very important. And whenever I'm also a human being, I can also feel stress sometimes. But what I realize, focus on these three, most important parameters: deep breathe, following Nishkam Karm, and the Sakshi Bhav. So these are the three important parameters of reducing stress for myself. And it
And
really helps for others too.
and thank you. Actually, you answered many of the questions I wanted to ask. This is exactly an implementation way to deal with the stress. It's not rocket science. I had a session with a teacher, Indian teacher who teaches here in UAE. It was about manifestation, and she spoke a lot about that, and it was a really inspiring session. And I can't agree more. I do pranayama, and for those who are watching, pranayama is nothing but reducing your blood pressure,
Ye-
just making sure your heartbeat are down. And this is stress. So understanding stress is important for us to know how to deal with it. So the first point, as you mentioned, is because I was a biology teacher, is dealing with your physiology, which is by breathing, giving more oxygen. The second part is dealing with your psychology and your thinking. And I think when we remove the expectations itself, it puts a lot of stress on us. So thinking about the journey, thinking about what we do, and keeping the results come, this is something that I started adopting in my life few years back, and it did a huge difference. And I speak about a personal experience. And the third point, indeed, understanding emotions, and this is what emotional intelligence is about. So, how do you think educators can go back to this? Maybe the main value of what they do when they are stuck in their daily routine of classroom management and lesson planning? How can educators reconnect back to their sense of purpose?
I'm very positive person. What I do, I share it with you. A very simple practice: when I, wake up in the morning, I just asked myself, who can I positively impact today?
Mhm.
So, when we focus on one person, one conversation, one moment of kindness, purpose becomes clear again. That what is my purpose in life? That in today's day, the God has given me a very beautiful day. How can I impact positively that person, that
Mhm.
conversation, that moment? So, this is actually my purpose of life. And I really want everyone to just, focus on that. Ki what exactly you want in life, what exactly you want to make to make that purpose of your life.
Yeah.
If you create happiness, if you spread happiness, if you spread positivity, automatically it bounce back to you. So I think this is the most important purpose of life: how you create someone's other's life positive and happy.
This will be the most rewarding thing people do, and luckily educators, they do that intentionally or unintentionally. There is a big purpose behind being educators, connecting with people, because I think there is a lot of impact, inspiration, a lot of influence we can do on those teachers and students. And I see that educators have a common DNA, I call it. Whenever we speak together as a community, we feel that give we always give. You are inspired by a very ancient philosophy that was written thousands of years ago without even technology and AI and anything that we are talking about today existed. Do you think, first of all, do you use AI? Are you a supporter of technology? Do you think this can jeopardize human connection? Or do you think there is an opportunity in using technologies and AI? How do you yourself see this?
Okay. So, yes, I'm using AI because, one of a very respectable person of my life, he once told me that it is very important to go with the flow, because
Mm-hmm.
when you are not going with the flow, the society will not, you know, adopt you.
Yeah.
So you remain, in silos. So it is very important to go with the flow. So that is why I love change. And we all know that change is always for the betterment.
Yeah.
So before before answering this question, I just want to give one example. When I tell my learners that, change is always for the betterment, I give the example of a chapati. So when we make chapati, so we, put like on tawa like this, and we have to change the position. If we are
Yeah.
not able to change that position, that chapati is not good for eating. So similarly, whenever change comes in your life, try to adopt and take that change in a very positive way, because ultimately, if you want or if you don't want, change has come. So it's better to, take that change in a very smiling way. So yeah, I use AI in my life, and AI can make life easier. That is very true, because automatic summaries, quick explanations, and lesson plans. But it can also overwhelm when the pace of change feels too fast.
Mm-hmm.
So, uh, like a teacher using AI for correcting essays or assignments, it saves the timing of a teacher's. But on the other hand, when a teacher is worried, AI will replace me, it feels more stress.
Yeah.
So AI does not create stress, but our relation with it does. So we have to just have that understanding, that take or consider AI as your supporter, not a person or not a thing which really, keeps you more stressed in life. Because in
Mm-hmm.
some way it really helps you. AI gives you everything, but AI does not give any inspiration to the learners. So
Yeah.
inspiration is comes from the teachers, educators, and human beings itself.
Working with your students, and I think you've been in the classroom for long time ago. Uh, are you seeing positive changes happening in education in the classroom? So when was the first time you started teaching? 17 years back?
Yeah, in 2005.
Wow. How do you see the classroom is changing?
Okay. So I think, in my viewpoint, classroom is same, because
Mm-hmm.
learners are learners. Okay. So the only thing which I realize nowadays, that that time in 2005, learners are more dependent on educators. They
Mm-hmm.
are more dependent on educators, that they want everything from the educators, because during that time there are no AI tools and all that. But nowadays learners are more faster than educators. They don't even want to come in the class. Why? Because they have everything on Google. They have
Yeah.
everything on, if they want to make assignments, they don't require any educator, but they have, different AI tools. They create beautiful PPTs, they create beautiful assignments on DeepSeek, Grok, or ChatGPT. But what I believe is that that time, it's my personal
Yeah.
viewpoint, I'm not saying it's everyone's viewpoint. At that time, learners are more connected with the educators, because they are dependent on educators. They
Yeah.
want each and everything from educators, and they discuss more and more with educators. Nowadays, learners are independent. They don't want
Mhm.
educators for their assignments, for anything. But again, I tell you one thing, it is on the part of educator how you take the classes, how you
Yeah.
take the learners. If you connect with the learners, if you go deep in the heart of the learners, today also learners are connected with you.
Yeah.
So it's just the matter of your mindset, because during that time, even I think educators mindset is also very different from today's.
Yeah.
Because at that time, what I believe is that teaching is one of the best and the pious profession, because
Mm-hmm.
this profession makes engineers, this profession makes, doctors, this profession makes IPS officers, IS officers. So teachers are there as teachers, their students become IS officers, their student becomes, IPS engineers. So we are the one who shapes the personality of the learners. So why not to connect with learners in one way or the other? So many things are coming in the world, no matter. But what we believe that, what I believe that in our mindset, I just want one thing, that I am everything for my learner and I am the mother of my learner. So
Mhm.
this
Yeah.
connection is required in the
Yeah.
classrooms.
And no matter how technology advances, humans still humans. And
Yeah.
that's why we always stress on the human connection and thinking about AI as companions, as coexisting tools that support the main purpose. And I think we are connecting the dots here. So it's an invitation for educators to go back to think about what being an educator means and what is
Yeah.
our purpose. And I would say, as an educator, my purpose was connecting with the students. And once we do this connection, everything is possible. Um, Last thing I would love to ask you about is, what do you think the skills, the life skills that students need nowadays? And I think we spoke about stress, we spoke about emotional intelligence. When you go to the think about job market, there is a lot around digital skills, digital literacy, from the perspective of human empowerment. What are the skills that educators must focus on in building in themselves and in the students?
And the learners. Okay.
Yeah.
So there, the most important skills, which I consider as a three foundational skills, I also talked about that, and that is a part of our, session also. That is self awareness. This is
Mhm.
the first and the foremost important skill. Understanding emotions, strengths, and triggers. So an individual who knows they are anxious before exams, he can learn coping strategies easily, because he understands that yes, before exams he or she got anxiety. So
Mhm.
self aware is the first and the foremost. The second one is resilience,
Mhm.
bounce back when you see the threats in your life. So how you handle failure, that is most important. The problem is that nowadays learners are not accepting rejections in
Yeah.
one way or the other way, whether in personal life or professional life. So when they face rejections, their mental well-being get disturbed. So it is very important to understand the fact that it is, so what, rejection comes in my life, it is not the last step of my life, it is just a step which really helps me in moving on.
Mhm.
So how you handle failure without giving up. So in a world of instant results, this is priceless. Become resilient. And the third one is compassion.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
So seeing others with empathy is also very important, because I see nowadays, it's not about learners, it's not about educators, it's about every human, most of the human being, they are not sensitized towards others. So it is, when they see road accident, they just click pictures and put on social media. That is not human beings, instinct. So AI cannot teach kindness, only the humans teach that kindness. So one should be self-aware, one should be resilient enough, and one should be compassionate. So these three foundational skills is really helpful, which makes life meaningful. Yeah.
Very interesting, and thank you for. I think I'm learning myself because you know the knowledge is there. I think, but you need a mentor, you need a
Yeah.
guide who can put this knowledge in a good order that you can absorb it, you can start implementing it. And one of the things that I have seen that sometimes people are becoming more resistant to these talks when we speak positivity, when we speak emotional intelligence. Sometimes there is a kind of repulsive energy because they feel that nothing is working, and they feel that we know that nothing new to us. We've heard a lot of people speaking about going into the classroom with the students' misbehavior and try to connect with them. It's a challenging question actually I wanted to ask
Yeah.
because you know discussions sometimes bring us to some beautiful summaries, but in real life there is still an educator maybe watching and saying this doesn't solve my problem. I'm still having stress. I'm having a problem with a class full of teenagers who are misbehaving and I don't know what to do.
Okay. So in my life, and I want others to follow that. That is ABC strategy. So, ABC strategy is what? Awareness, balancing, and then you have to, close down whatever is there in your mind. So, just pause, stop down, and think that you are not late in life. You are exactly where you need to be, begin again. So in this world wherein we are living, it is a VUCA world now. It's a, blank world. So calmness is not weakness, it is wisdom. So take one breath, one step, one moment at a time. Your inner compass will guide you, because
Mhm.
no matter, if suppose I am facing any problem, and if someone is giving motivational speak, yes, I am a human. I always see that person and I say, no, your motivational speech does not work for me, because I know what exactly the problem is, having with me right now. But if you have that understanding, nay, each and every word of that person somehow helps you in resolving your problems. The only thing is that you have to reflect on that. The only
Mhm.
thing is that you have to understand what that person is, telling you. Because I believe you there are so many millions and millions of people on this planet, but we connect with someone only. We connect with very few. That is just the indication of God. So maybe that person comes in your life to give you some life lessons, to give you some solutions for the problems. So why not consider it in a positive way, that okay, if this thing is not working for me right now, maybe in some other day or in some other time it will work. Because when we sit alone and we reflect on those things, so then we understand, yes, that person is saying very good point. Because that is why I always tell my learners, write a journaling, start write journaling. So what 5 things you are doing, you did very good in today's day, or what are the 5 things that doesn't work for you. So after 1 month, just reflect on your diary and see, you have so many of positives in your life and you don't reflect on the negative ones. So that is very important. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. I love that. And indeed, this is a strategy that always works. It always works. And I had a problem myself 8 years back in a classroom, and it's only boys, and they were very misbehaving to a point that I missed the connection with them. And actually, it's my wife who helped me in that classroom. And she told me, you need to love those students and think about them as kids,
Yeah.
12, 13, 14 years old. Just try to do that. Try to approach them from that perspective, honestly. And I'm speaking my personal experience because I've been in this. And I started changing my mindset about the students, that they are not there to bother me. This is their nature. They want to play. They don't love the subject. This is their nature. And in their mind, we are going to stuck in 40 minutes in material that we don't love. So we want to do something else. Honestly speaking, when I changed my mindset, my behavior, my action towards them started to change. And the first thing that I started doing is connecting with them before I start the lesson, which is just walking between them, asking them, how's your day? How are you struggling? Only this thing changed the way I teach, not only this
Yes.
class, all the classes. And these, I think, simple things, but to your point, and I would love to have a nice summary for educators: reflection, breathing, taking a pause, thinking about what's happening is so, so, so important. And in a very fast changing world, maybe people don't have that. You need to have that. You need to have this time to breathe, this time to meditate, this time to just stop thinking, relax, and bring your issues and reflect on them. And I think we were born with the ability to solve our own problems.
Yeah.
We need guidance, we need mentors, we need people who bring us back to our origin so that we can solve our own problems, because there is no one can solve our own problems where we are sitting at the side.
Yeah.
And this is where I think the discussion is all around empowering educators, thinking about the purpose, thinking about mindfulness, thinking about how they can reflect on what they have. So what's your last message to the audience?
Okay. It's not only the last message, but it's actually the beginning. Just listen to everyone. Being an educator, it is very important to have listening skills, because that educators are not in a position to listen. They just want to give what they have in
Yeah.
their mouth or in mind. One listening with of a learner, of any person in your life, change the life and the mindset of the person who is sitting on the other side of the table. So, listening skills are really very important to build connections, to build relations, and to build everything. So, I just request everyone who are, in a position to listen this talk, just imbibe in yourself the listening skills, because every individual wants someone to listen them. Nowadays, maybe you heard news that youngsters are committed
Yeah.
suicide. In 12th class they didn't get good marks, or in some professions they are not achieved very well. Why all these things are happening, why their mental well-being is disturbing? The reason behind that is that they have so many people in their around them, but no single person is there to listen what they have in their mind. So it is very important to listen to the person whom you really thinks that you are there for them. So thank you.
Thank you so much. And I think I did not expect this because we don't often think about listening. We think about the communication skills as what we say,
And
but
one thing, sorry to interrupt you, what you did, what your wife told you, that love your children in that class, you also did the same thing, that you listen them, you
uh,
understand them. That is why they were connected with you.
yeah.
So that's really very nice.
I think it's the best closure for this session, but as you said, it's an opening for more things to be done. And thank you for your time. I want to have more of these discussions, and hopefully, it won't be the last time we speak together. Thank you for the richness of the ideas that you have, all the experience, and the openness to share your personal experience with everyone. And I believe in the age of technology and AI, it's important to listen to each other. It's important to
Yeah.
learn from each other because this is the best way we thrive and we survive as humans. So thank you for this beautiful talk, inspiring talk, and all the best. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.